Hi, I am Michael Santos, and I am happy to create this series of courses to help you build prosperity. I am absolutely convinced that anyone can build higher levels of happiness, fulfillment, and relevance, but it doesn't happen by accident. The more they learn about how decisions an individual makes today is going to influence what level of financial success he is going to achieve in the years ahead, the higher the chances are he will have of really building a life of success. Now, I will reveal more about my own journey to success with hopes that you will profit from the lessons that I share. Now, in the notes to this video or on the banner of my page, I will publish a link for you to download a free copy of my book to help you decide whether my message is right for you. Simply click the link to get your copy of Prison to Paradise: How I Built Assets worth more than $5 million within 5 years of getting out of prison, and how you can succeed too. Now, more on that title later. Through all of my work, you can expect me to be 100% honest and transparent. It is my responsibility to earn your trust as I guide you through these lessons and practices. And from them, you may learn to think differently from the herd and to use critical thinking skills that will more effectively help you to build prosperity. So through this series, we will discuss the basics of business and investing, covering topics that include how to build a company, how a company raises money with equity and debt, how a company manages assets, how a company plans, prioritizes, and executes, how to liquidate a company, how to use the stock market as a gauge to value companies, how to assess investments in stocks and bonds, how to invest in income properties, how to use leverage to invest in appreciating assets, how to invest overseas and to diversify assets. Now, I promise that these videos will help you develop a better understanding of business, investing, and critical thinking. You will also learn the reasons why I chose real estate and alternative investments as the vehicle to build my prosperity. I'm not saying that is the answer for everyone, but that's what worked for me. Hopefully, these lessons will help you make better, more deliberate choices with regard to the vehicles that you choose to build success in your life. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're watching these videos when you're 18 or whether you're 68. I believe that it's never too early and it's never too late to begin building a pathway to prosperity. And it doesn't matter where you are at this stage in your life. All that's important is that you want to learn. Take action by investing your time, your energy, and your attention to think differently. Now, I encourage you to question everything I say. And if you disagree with anything, please leave your comments anywhere, whether it's through my email, whether it's on the comments on a YouTube channel, whether it's through my website at michaelsantos.com. I just pledge to you that I will do my best to respond. Now, you'll frequently hear me say that I'm 100% transparent and I never ask anyone to do anything that I am not doing. Again, I don't want to, ask you to believe in me. I want to earn your trust. But it's really important to remember that we're all different and we all choose different pathways in our lives. Look at some of the examples out there. Some people quit school, went into the workforce, and made a killing. Look at Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, for example. Neither one of those men finished college, but they created influential companies that changed the world. Billions of people use products from Microsoft and Facebook every day. And those companies exist because Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg thought differently from others. Some people didn't ever finish high school. They started working in a series of dead-end jobs or even went through real struggle before they found their way. Then they seized an opportunity. They either started a business or invested in assets that led to their becoming enormously prosperous and successful. But there are many, many more people who choose a more traditional route. They listened to guidance from supposed experts about what they were supposed to do. They made their way through high school and then went into college without learning how to think differently. They took on thousands of dollars in student loan debt, and those debts and the time they invested in college put them far behind because they really never had a plan. They never used the critical thinking skills to map out what is going to follow what they're doing. After college, they moved into jobs that didn't pay enough. Then they worked for decades on jobs that they didn't enjoy, and they never advanced financially. Don't let that happen to you. That's an example of living without a clear end game. When we learn more about business and investing, we learn to think about strategies that we can use to build the life that we want. We can also see examples on the opposite end of the spectrum. I know many people who have earned hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Cumulatively, they earned millions of dollars over the course of their career. But then they ended up broke. Why? Because they didn't learn the art of critical thinking, of mindset, of being mindful of the life journey. And then a financial reversal put them farther behind. Despite having millions of dollars at one point, some of those people fell into insolvency or even bankruptcy. Now, I want to change those outcomes for people. Through my work, I will teach more people how to think differently. And to think differently, we should develop a basic understanding of business and investing. That's what I'm going to teach through this course. Building prosperity requires us to start by defining success. Once we define success, we can create plans that will help us get from where we are to where we want to go. It doesn't matter where we start or what background we have. What matters is that we want to succeed, and we are willing to do whatever we can to get there. We simply have to start by defining success, which is where we want to go. Then we can put priorities in place. We have to advance through a series of methodical, deliberate steps to become successful as we define success. If we plan well and we execute our plans every day, making adjustments where necessary, we can achieve remarkable levels of success. But if we don't plan, we find ourselves going in circles. It's like being in the middle of the ocean without a compass. We go in one direction one day, in another direction the next day, and we never get any closer to where we want to go. Going through life without a plan has led many people into struggle. They find themselves having to live with more month than money, which is no way to live. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll take this slowly as I can make it. You know, I've got a lot of enthusiasm and excitement, and sometimes I speak too quickly, but I'm going to try to do it slowly for the purposes of this course. So we'll take this in relatively short videos that you can digest. I hope you will find value in each segment. You can always visit michaelsantos.com to access more comprehensive, interactive courses that may make more sense for you. If you want to read along, please download the transcript from these videos that I'm providing. They may not be word-for-word transcripts of what I'm saying on the video, but the digital files will give you the message. Now at the start, let me make very clear that I am not a licensed financial advisor. That didn't stop me from learning about investing. I used what I learned about investing to build assets that grew to be worth more than $5 million within 5 years from the time that I got out of prison in August of 2013. That's right. I was in prison for 26 years. I made bad decisions as a teenager, and when I was 20, I started selling cocaine. In 1987, authorities arrested me. After a lengthy trial, a judge sentenced me to serve 45-year prison sentence. It's a 45-year sentence. And at that 45-year sentence, I had to serve 26 years in prisons of every security level before I would complete my obligation to the Bureau of Prisons. After getting out of prison, I had to go through 3 more years of probation. And finally, in 2017, the government set me free. By then, I had a net worth of well over $1 million. Now, I am confident that you can achieve financial success too. If you apply the lessons that I'll teach to these digital files, I am absolutely confident that you can get to financial success much more quickly. So please visit michaelsantos.com and get that type of information that will help you. Multiple decades in prison didn't stop me from creating prosperity, and nothing should stop you from creating prosperity. If you've got the right mindset, you can succeed. Everything starts with how we think and with our attitudes. Through these courses that I create, I'd like you to learn more about thinking critically, about making sure that every decision you make today relates to the goals that you are striving to achieve in the weeks, months, years, and decades ahead. But you also need to do periodic checks on your goals. Do the goals that you are pursuing have relevance to the life that you want to live? People sometimes chase the wrong goals, and before they know it, 10 years pass by. People who don't make plans lose entire decades of their lives without having much of anything in the way of financial resources to show for their time. I want to do my part to help people think differently, to help people believe that they can achieve anything they want to achieve, but they need good planning. They need planning that will lead to a basic understanding of what it is they're trying to get. They can reverse engineer where they are to where they want to go. I believe that all of that starts with really a basic understanding of business and investing. We should always think about how business and investing can influence the type of future that we want to build. The way we think influences opportunities that come our way and whether we succeed in building the lifestyle that we want. Does that make sense? I really hope it makes sense to you. And I hope that my acknowledgement of making bad decisions as a teenager and spending multiple decades in prison doesn't turn you off. Out of respect for my audience, I just feel compelled to make that disclaimer about the prison experience at the start of the series before we got into the heart of the lessons. Now, to be clear, I am creating this series to teach about business and investing, at least what I know about business and investing. But I don't want it to mislead anyone. I am teaching critical thinking strategies and offering insight with regard to how I make decisions when it comes to business and investing. There are a lot of laws out here in society about what a person can and cannot say when it comes to understanding business, investing, and raising capital from investors. But in my heart, I am an entrepreneur, a businessman, an investor. And I've raised millions of dollars in capital from other investors. So I'm always striving to build relationships that will lead to my raising more capital for investment opportunities and new projects. I thrive on putting these mutually beneficial deals together that are going to work out well for my investors and also work out for me. I like to show others how to do the same thing. All of my decisions are deliberate, including making these videos. It's a methodical plan that I put together to show people who I am, how I think, and all of this work helps people believe in me and choose whether they want to partner with me or invest with me. Now again, I never ask anyone to do anything that I am not doing. You can follow along with my own investments by visiting michaelsantos.com. Every month I publish a profile of where my investment stands, where my cash flow stands, how the performance of my investments are doing. By thinking differently from what anyone would expect from a man with my background and showing the results, I open more opportunities to succeed. And I'm absolutely confident that you can do the same thing, which is why I encourage you to think differently. I am absolutely convinced that anyone who applies critical thinking skills can achieve higher levels of success, fulfillment, and prosperity. If you think differently, you may assess how you are investing and determine whether the course that you are on right now is going to open realistic pathways to financial security. Success depends on how badly you want to succeed, but it also depends on how well you plan, how well you prioritize, how well you execute your plan, making adjustments as necessary. Too many people in society don't think about their future, and they don't think at all about investing. Reputable networks like CNBC report on high percentages of people who are burdened with consumer debt. Sadly, they don't have enough money to pay rent, to buy groceries, to cover basic living costs when they're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Instead of creating deliberate plans and taking action, those people went through life without making plans. And without plans, they grew older depending on the government or on others to take care of them. I don't think that's any way to live. To use an analogy from my past, it is like they're serving a prison term for the crime of not preparing for financial prosperity. Preparing for success starts with a basic understanding of investing, and that's what I'd like to teach through this video series that I am creating. So let's begin. And again, if you want more details on my journey from prison to paradise, click the link in the notes to this video or on the banner of this site. You will be able to download the free ebook.